From the Opelco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is an OU Update with Ryan Aber. I'm Jenny Carlson. The bowl matchups are out, and obviously the Sooners are headed back to the BCS, playing Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, a team that only a couple weeks ago was widely considered the favorite to win the national championship. What's the challenge of playing Alabama in this bowl, Ryan?
Well, there's a lot of them. I think you got to start with A.J. McCarron, though. Just a fantastic job at quarterback. He's a guy who is from Alabama. Obviously, has seeped himself into Alabama lore with his performances the last few years. But is a guy that at one point had a chance to come to OU and has really shown out for Nick Saban's team. And then the hallmark of Nick Saban's teams have been their defense. SEC defenses as a whole have been down this year, but not Alabama. I think they've held opponents to 10 points or less 9 times this season.
Yeah, fantastic defense. And in the SEC, we've seen there's some teams that can score some points, as that SEC championship game showed. You mentioned, how good Alabama is. So good they could have played for a championship. They could have a few years ago, too, and ended up not making the national championship game. That bowl game didn't end so well for them.
Yeah, the time when they were in the most similar position was 2008. They lose to, I believe it was Florida in the SEC title game, helped OU out in the process. And what happened there is they went to the Sugar Bowl against a Utah team that everybody thought were going to get their doors blown off. Now, that Utah team had Alex Smith, and Alex Smith has proven to be a fantastic football player, but still people expected the Crimson Tide to roll in that one, and it didn't happen. Utah is the team that rolled in that game.
So is there at least reason, as a lot of people have said, OU's going to go in the underdog, both in Vegas and from pundits, but is there reason to at least question where Alabama's head might be in this game?
I think there is, and you think Nick Saban does a great job with motivating guys. He had last year, even with winning a national title, he had the A&M game that they lost last year playing on a loop in their locker room, had A&M signs all around their locker room. So he's going to push those buttons, and I imagine Utah is going to get brought up a few times. But certainly, even with all that stuff, you got to figure that that's going to be in their minds a little bit. This isn't really where we want to be.
Right. I also think he might play a lot those Bob Stoops comments from this summer about the SEC.
Yeah, which he said he didn't remember, which is completely false. He knows exactly what Bob Stoops said.
I think he does, and I'm sure he'll be reminding his players of that. Thanks, Ryan. And be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.